everyone, Victoria Cochran here, Wednesday the 24th of September. Someone's just asking me, she's texting me of the live feed. I'm a bit late actually, so sorry about that. I couldn't get my computer to do it today, so I'm hoping that this is a clear video for you. Victoria Cochran, I'm on the northwest coast of Tasmania, a bit chilly today, a little bit wet, and it's 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I am a spiritual healer and psychic channel. I have the honour of being the Tasmanian Expo's 2019 Psychic of the Year. So that's been really exciting for me, and has meant that I get a little bit more exposure through, hi Susan, through interviews and things, and just had the Devonport Psychic Fair on the weekend and did 32 readings. Oh my goodness. Hi Nettie. Hi Michelle from Ridgely. Yay. Well, I'm in Wynyard, so if ever you feel like a reading or a healing, you can just pop me a message, and I'm not too far away. Hi Lily. Hi Phoebes. So I don't do, on here I don't do individual cards or anything like that. It's just too draining, but I am here to help people with general questions about awakening, spiritual development, trouble with connection, spirits floating around, anything like that. But I can't do individual things. But if you do have like a question around those things, it's going to help other people anyway. So by all means, drop me a question. From Montreal, Canada. That's unreal. I love seeing that I'm reaching people from all around the world. Never been to Canada, would love to one day. So that would be awesome. So I've been on this journey about 11 years now, and professional for about 8. Hi Rachel and Zena. Hi Robin. Hi Robin. Patient slept all night. Oh well, one night's good. I went to Robin's house the other day and did a house clearing, and work in progress, Rob. Need to get those crystals that we talked about, and yeah, so that's good though. Does the energy feel a bit better? Maybe, hopefully. So, and just put a thumbs up if I can tell your story without any kind of revealing details. Hi Maz. Great to see you. I grew up in Melbourne, but love Tassie now. So I did the psychic fair, and then went to Robin's for a house clearing because she was having trouble with her little one not sleeping and the house feeling a bit kind of creepy. She says it feels amazing. That's fantastic. So if that's the kind of thing that I want to respond to, and I'll just tell the general story because other people could benefit as well. And it's great to see Robin on here. She came to see me over at the psychic fair, and then I went out to her place, and so there was, you know, some other extenuating circumstances, but they live near waterways. Awesome, Rachel. Yours is the next one that I'll look into, and just talk about the things that perhaps you can try. So I did tune in, and because little ones, babies and toddlers, and Robin's daughter is about 3, are very awakened to the spiritual world, and quite often they will see spirits, but they're also awakened to the elemental world. Now, at the risk of diverging and trying not to, the elemental world is with the second plane of existence, and the second plane of existence is plants, vitamins, and elementals, or nature. And so if you're using herbs or you're growing plants or you're taking vitamins, then you're using the second plane of existence. So if you're taking minerals, you're using crystals, collecting rocks, shells, things like that, then you're using the first plane of existence. So you can see we use the planes all the time. Good idea, Rachel. We're working across the planes all the time. So again, I'm using this book by Diana. I've got a few books I carry with me all the time now because I am an advanced theta healer, healing practitioner. So I've done the basic DNA course and the advanced DNA. So I love the, here we go, the second plane of existence. I love the modality, but I've developed a few extra gifts that help me to enhance it. So when I went into Robin's little girl's room, because I thought that it was the elementals coming up from the creek, and the bathroom and the toilet and all the waterways kind of the house were at the back of the house around the children's rooms. But when I went in there and went up into meditation, I could see this kind of cloudy, kind of other dimension open. So I really can't do individual things like that, Jose, but if you would like to contact me for a half-hour reading, I could certainly look into that. It's more about just, what to do if you've got an unsettled house or children not sleeping or creepy feeling in the house. I'm sure a lot of people would have that feeling. So, and have experienced that. So to me, that was another dimension opening up. And so we live in all sorts of dimensions, but also we can, if we've got lots of spirit activity or lots of unhappiness in the house or whatever's going on, it can open up dimensions to lower vibrations and actually let beings from those dimensions in. And so I closed all that, and then I went out into the hallway, but I could see it coming from that room that I'd just been in. So it wasn't just the elementals, there was something under the house, and I've experienced that before. And then Robin said the house built on a swamp, and so then energetically I could see a bit of a vortex under there. So closed all that up, and also I had done some work before I'd gone in there and got some black tourmaline, and it just happened to be the crystal man, Marcus Robinson. He's great, he has lots of crystals. I got some little black tourmaline pieces that sat really nicely on the door jambs above not the door jambs, but on the architraves above each doorway to the children's rooms, and actually had to put 2 in the little girl's bedroom and a big one in the bathroom. And Robin says the house feels amazing, and she actually would not go out into that place before, so that was really great. But as far as the elementals go, then that's another thing, and I saw energetically crystals down by the fence, because elementals love crystals. They just love them. So if you have them down there, then they're less likely to come up and interfere in the house. So if you think I'm going loopy right now, I just want to read a little bit about the second plane of existence to you, because if you do have children who are awakening all the time, or seeing things, hi Angie, you're on, that's awesome. Yeah, so if you feel something in your house, that's what we can talk about today. So you can certainly get someone along like me. You can certainly do what Rachel did and get some sage. Archangel Michael, go to Angel, call him in and ask him to clear any spirits, wayward spirits, or any other negative energy in the house, and take them to the light. Yes, definitely, I agree with you, Robin. But at least it's feeling a lot better, and I'm really happy to hear that. That's awesome. So Archangel Michael's a really good one to call upon, but and saging, crystals, all those things. We all have free will, and so do spirits and passed over loved ones. and so they can choose to stay. And if we really want them to go, then there are a few things you can do. So in the spiritual law, there's a law of challenge. So you can say, who are you, who are you, who are you, and they have to tell you. And the law of three, or the power of three, means that if you say, go to the light, go to the light, go to the light, and so it is, or it is done, it is done, it is done, it's a decree and they have to go. Sorry, didn't mean to do a rude gesture. Calling in the name of Jesus with the Christ consciousness, they have to go as well. And then you can call in Archangel Michael and Jesus to escort them and make sure that they go to the light and pass over. So, and then all living people and things, including animals and plants, need to be cleansed in the house. So you can do that with sage, or send in white light, or I just send in Archangel Michael and do it with the violet flame as well. Very powerful stuff. But then using the crystals to anchor in your energy and to ward off that kind of other world energy is really a powerful thing to do. And so I always ask, you know, what would be useful. Black tourmaline, amethyst is really good, but black tourmaline's stronger. So that was what I was called to do, to use in Robin's house. But then anchor in your love energy with rose quartz in the middle of the house, and you can even use clear quartz and amethyst quartz, just little stones. Okay, yeah, little stones to anchor in your energy outside the perimeter of the house. So you can go northwest with amethyst and north-south, with amethyst, and east-west with clear quartz, and you actually bury them in the ground and you just leave them there. And then you just put some rose quartz in the middle of the house, and you put all your love into it, and you give thanks for the beautiful space that you're creating. Give thanks for your safe house, because if you really don't like your house, then you're also creating that dense energy too that can open up that can create lower vibrations and potentially attract lower vibrational entities and open up lower dimensions. So, you know, my advice to Robin was to really give love to the house and send a lot of love to the house, and just also make it her own space, you know, make sure that all her energy's locked in there. So it's really, really important. So the second plane of existence, this is by Vienna Steibel, and very interesting. I'm not sure if she talks about plants and trees, but in her, just want to see if she talks about should have done my, here we are, the elementals. One of the most exciting aspects of the second plane of existence is the elementals, the spirits that guard, protect and nurture the plant realm. Hi Thelma. As you experience the plant kingdom, you'll open up to experience them whether you believe in them or not. Because of the spiritual evolution and ascension of humankind, the veils are becoming thin between the planes, and it's much easier for us to see through them than ever before. The veil between the second and third planes is becoming particularly thin. Because of this, greater numbers of people are witnessing what are called fairies. I like to call them elementals, and make no mistake, they are not human in any way. Elementals can control the rate of their molecular vibration to merge with plants, become beings of liquid or air, or take a solid form as they choose. It is when they choose to take solid form that we see them in their myriad different shapes and sizes as fairies, because this is the only form that our mind can accept them as. The second plane is the first of the planes that demonstrates the ability to enjoy life and express laughter. It is where we begin to experience diversity in emotions and feelings, because the first plane is minerals and rocks and non-living matter. This is being learned by the elementals as well. They are also in the process of learning how to make interdimensional shifts and to bend time. They are intertwined with the plants, the pure essence of light, and the process of photosynthesis. She tells the story. The first time I ever saw a fairy, as I related in other books, was when I was with Guy, her husband, in a cabin in the mountains above Sandpoint, Idaho. Guy already knew what they were. He'd worked with the earth and knew that they were spirits around plants and trees. He also knew about the vast body of ancient lore that centred on the subject. The first experience with fairies opened up a whole new realm for me, and I realised that fairy energy was centred on plants and trees. Native peoples call this living essence the green. So in the tarot card, or in some tarot cards, it's called the green man or synergy. In European traditions, it's called the green man and the earth mother, and sometimes there's a fusion of the two aspects. Both can be traced back to the fairy queen and the oak king. The thing with fairies and elementals is they're very mischievous, and they are really drawn to children because of that playfulness, and they're not trustworthy in any way. And the law of so every plane has vows and commitments, apart from the plane of the creator, or the seventh plane, which is unconditional love, and there are no conditions, which is where I always go before I connect to anybody or work with any other plane in a reading or a healing or anything, because with the elemental realm, you can ask the fairies to look after your garden, but then if you don't leave something out for them, they'll just take it, because they'll take something, they'll steal from you because they'll feel quite entitled to take it because you haven't done it. It's like you give something to me. If I do something for you, you must give me something equal in exchange. And if you don't, I'll rip something off you. You know, so if crystals or keys or anything shiny goes missing, and you've actually asked nature for help, or you've actually kind of taken from nature without giving back, you know, and that includes picking plants without thanking it, you know, because plants have an aura. Like all plants, they've done studies, haven't they, on actually sending love to plants and how they grow beautifully, and actually sending hatred and how they wither. And they actually do have auras, and they have not feelings as such, but they do kind of have that energy of give and exchange. So if you bless your food and if you thank the plant or the flower before you pick it, then you will get longer lasting flower and better nutrition. And it might sound ridiculous, but you try it, because it really is, it's within spiritual law. Okay, so the second plane then interacts with the sixth plane, which is the laws, and connects to those laws of equipoise, the law of equal exchange, of giving and receiving in equal, in an equal exchange of energy and all that kind of thing. So if you do take a lot from nature, then you must give it back. And so that's why it's really not a good idea to go somewhere and take shells, or, you know, take a rock or anything and just take it home. And quite often awful things can happen. There's a place, is at the Bungle Bungle Ranges in WA. Awesome, thanks Robin. Where in one post office up there, I can think of it in a minute because my good friend lives up there, Kununurra, they get so many rocks posted back to them in the mail because nothing but bad things happen after the people take them home, because they've actually taken the energy of that, and we're talking about the first plane there really, but they've actually taken it. It doesn't belong to them, and they've taken it out, and perhaps who knows what kind of darker energy is in there anyway, but they've actually just posted it back and said, don't want it, please put it back, because I've had nothing but bad luck. So we've got to really make sure that we're always giving back what we take, and that's why we can get into sustainability and all the rest there. But the bottom line is, leave them something, you know, leave them a little crystal, or leave them kind of, make a little fairy garden. And Robin said, what if I made a fairy garden? I said, that's an awesome idea, they would love that. But I've actually had fairies or elementals leave things for me. I've actually come across just a little slither of one of my crystals in my pathway, or something like that, just to thank me for the help that I've given them, because I've done lots of work helping elementals reincarnate and to clear waterways and tone crystals in the earth and that kind of thing, and they actually give back to me because that's their law. Okay, so that's just a little bit of an explanation about what goes on. But there was something interesting in here too about what Vienna says about the highest energy on earth actually being trees. And in my book, two of my books, the third book and the one I'm writing, the masters have brought through messages about trees. And very enlightened beings. I once asked the Creator to introduce me to one of the most enlightened beings on earth. I was surprised to be taken to meet a tree. I watched it go through its life process. It used water and minerals from the soil and light from the sun in the process of photosynthesis, the sacred transformation of blessed sunlight into pure energy. So I realised that trees and plants were some of the most evolved of God's creatures, acting out the sacred dance of connection between the second and third planes of existence. Trees and plants transmute the sacred life force so that animals can utilise it. The actual life force, the light that is within the tree or plant, is important to the human body. And actually the Masters of Light in the channelings that I brought through have actually said humans could well do to emulate trees by standing in their space, being in their power and not doubting who they are, and holding the space of love and light for everybody. So that's really great. I'll just get rid of them. Michelle, my dear friends had to put their little chihuahua to sleep today. How do I comfort them? Where is she spiritually? All right, well, animals will always be around you, and they'll always be grateful for being allowed to pass over because it's their time. They never really go before their time, and will always be comforting their friends, your friends. They'll always be comforting their owners and thanking them for the love and support they gave them, and asking them not to feel guilty about putting them to sleep or for not doing enough, because they've always done enough. So the unconditional love that dogs have is a beautiful lesson for humans, and they'll always be there. And sometimes they will send new animals to them, and sometimes they will say they're coming back, but your little one, I can just throw out, if I start doing that, then I'm doing individual readings, but it was its time, and they need to know that there's nothing to be forgiven for, and they'll always have their pet in their heart. Yeah, that's awesome, Rachel. Thank you. Now I just need to go back up here. So Jose says he feels something in his house. So calling upon Archangel Michael to take any spirits or ghosts or anything to the light is a really good idea. But the other thing you need to ask him to do is to close all the doorways to other dimensions and realms around you and around everybody in the house, and then to actually take all of those to close them, dissolve them, take them to Creator's light, and then to bring in the unconditional love of the Creator to cleanse the house, but also to cleanse the aura of every person in there, and to cleanse all the plants as well. And bringing up the violet flame is really, the violet flame of transmutation is that colour behind me, or the colour of my nails. I'm really kind of a bit of a purple person these days. because it transmutes negative energy to love. So it will actually just remove all the threads of negative energy that might have been left behind. And so removing, yeah, it is sad, I agree. They find their way into your hearts, don't they, pets? Honestly, Angie would know that too. Angie, who's my beautiful friend that I'll be going down to Hobart to see, she lost a pet recently, and it's just really hard. I still miss my cat and dog. Anyway, I digress. So yes, the violet flame is a really amazing thing to use as well, but removing them and taking them out is not enough now. You need to, like I did in Robin's house, close the doorways and the portals to other dimensions. And you can ask, you've got to be really specific in every time, place and dimension. So past, present, future, past life, whatever. And then make sure that it's all cleansed. So sage and crystals and everything work really well, but energetically you can do it as with intent it is. So visualizing it, making sure you're asking for it to happen in the highest and best way, doing it through the creative all that is. It was my intention last week to show you how to connect to the unconditional love of the Creator. So, oh, thank you. Yes, and actually, thank my husband. It's a set. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah. So, it's really important to do all that kind of thing, and I'm starting to think that I need to write a bit of a guidebook about things like this, because it's just stuff that I've learnt to do, but that's why I'm sharing it with you guys, because it's really helpful, and I'm really grateful that Robin jumped on, and that's just started our conversation today. And I love that, and I love the interaction with you all. Thank you, Katina. That's awesome. Hi, Kelly Jane. Hi, Kim. Just tuned in, my car's missing. Your cat's missing? Oh. Yeah, I thought, I get no, but that's just on the fly. But anyway, good luck. I really hope not. Oh yes, right, Fairy Gardens, awesome. You're welcome. Mikkel, beautiful psychic and friend, talk about when people have a car accident. Yes, how to bring that alignment back. Absolutely. So people who pass over really quickly or suddenly can be separated from their spiritual body and actually be stuck between the earthly plane and the physical plane, and can actually also hold quite a bit of trauma in their soul. And so lifting the trauma of passing is a really important thing to do, and asking for them to be reconnected to the unconditional love of the Creator, because that is the most devastating thing to have happen, is to be disconnected from the unconditional love of the Creator, whether you're in a human body or not. And so so I'm talking about people passed over. Are you talking about people passed over, Mikkel, or are you talking about also if you've had a car accident, you will be and you're alive still, then you will actually be holding a lot of trauma of that accident. And so the law of time is there is no time, and it can be manipulated. So you can actually go back in time and put healing, love and light into the human body that's had the accident just at the time of the accident, lift all the trauma and cushion the physical body from the major impact of the trauma, and then bring that through and realign the physical body with the emotional, mental and spiritual bodies, and actually put them all back into alignment, realign all the chakras, and actually lift all of that trauma, emotional trauma, mental trauma, physical trauma from the physical body. now because of car accident. Yes, that's right, they are. And it's always just going to be staying in the human body. So the physical body is the only body that can let us know that there's mental, emotional and spiritual trauma held in our ethereal bodies. And so it causes physical pain, and it just hangs around and causes a lot of issues until it can be lifted. A lot of the work that Louise Hay did is exactly the same as theta healing, of which Mikel is one as well. So if you've had a car accident, it is quite possible that your spiritual body has been disconnected, and everything is just locked in to the physical body. And so it's just about really unlocking all of that trauma and allowing everything to come back into balance. So if you are struggling with that, please, by all means, there are lots of different ways of doing it. And a lot of people go to counselling after they've had car accidents and end up with post-traumatic stress disorder, fibromyalgia. All of those things are emotional trauma conditions that are held in the physical body but don't really have a physical cause. The physical body mends, but the emotional, mental and spiritual bodies are still disconnected, and quite often I will see the spiritual body, after all that trauma is lifted, the spiritual body will reconnect. So if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling really just you can't get your life back together, it's the physical body will heal itself when we lift all that other trauma. So, and also the spirit can lose the will to live too, you know, and then go early because the death door looks a bit more inviting than the life door. So it's really important to lift all that trauma. I hope that's explained it enough, Mikel, but please put something else up there if you want to add something. That would be awesome. So I want to talk about the creator of all that is, because I'm not talking about anything to do with religion here. I mean, God is can be aligned with religion if that's what people want and what they feel comfortable with. But when we talk about the creator of all that is, we're talking about all that is, or the all, and unconditional love. Okay, so now I should kind of just put my bookmark in there. But basically, it's unconditional love and the highest truth, and it's the highest consciousness. So it is actually, God is a consciousness. It's our consciousness of the highest truth and oneness with the all, and connection to each other, tolerance, and knowing that we're all one and the same, and connected to the earth and to the unconditional love of creation. So everything in the universe is created with unconditional love. You're welcome, Mikel. Created with unconditional love, and love is all there is. That's the only thing that's real. Everything else on the earthly plane is an illusion, because we're all working towards soul involvement and enlightenment and mastery. And the earth is the best place to do that and learn our lessons. That is so lovely, Bridgie. So Bridgie had a session with me, and I could see that she had a lot of healing potential, but she wasn't sure. She kind of knew of it, but wasn't sure what to do. So one session was all it took, and she says, I want to give a big thank you for setting me on the path to spirit. You have been a shining light to follow my path. That is so beautiful. Thank you, Bridgie. I'm honoured. I'm always honoured to help people on their path, as Mikel I know is as well. So, so thank you. I'm so excited for you as well. That's fantastic. So a couple of other things before we do meditation. When we talk about dimension, we're talking about a level of consciousness. So we can have higher dimensions and lower dimensions. And the planes of existence, I talk about them as planes, but within each plane, there are multiple, sometimes hundreds or thousands of dimensions within each one. So she talks about a book that she by Flatland by Edwin Abbott, if you really want to know about dimensions. But it's really just a level of consciousness, and the lower the consciousness, the more physical the problem. Okay, so the more egotistical, materialistic, corrupt, kind of very dense energy we create. And I always show this picture in my first book of this is the low dimension of Earth, living on Earth. Just think about politics and media and fear. It's anchoring us in fear. But the more we can live out of fear and raise our consciousness to oneness, the fifth dimension or the seventh plane, or work out of the seventh plane and see everything with love and take responsibility for our own path instead of blaming other people, and take responsibility for our actions and our thoughts in creating this, because every thought creates, then we're well on the way to helping the earth come up here, and from all of us working in this kind of energy. So back to, I found where I wanted to go, because the seventh plane of existence shows us that we're not separate from we're not separate at all. We're all one, and we're all connected, and we're all the same, and we're all equal. No one in the world is any better than anyone else. They'd like to tell you they are, the queen, or, you know, status and power and everything. That's of the third dimension. That is not a creator energy. And so then, in that paradigm, religion is not a creator energy either, because it teaches that we are all separate and that we are inferior, and that is not the case. In the energy of the creator of all that is, we're all one, we're all the same, and we're all connected, and we're all connected by the unconditional love and highest truth of creation. And so when we create, we are co-creators, and we make things happen. And so we're all a part of the all, and it's the pure energy of all that is. It is all encompassing. So it's the biggest plane, and it encompasses all the other planes. And when you work from that plane, then you connect to that unconditional love, and then you won't trade energies. And I've talked before about how everything in the world is energy. We are energy, and everything works on exchanging energy. And we emit energy and we absorb energy, and what we put out comes back to us as well. So if there's not an equal exchange, then we can go out of balance. And also in the energy of duality, which is good and bad, light and dark, evil and good, whatever, evil and pure, then we're working on a sacrifice of energy. So a lot of people think they need to sacrifice their energy to be close to God, and that's where, I suppose, monks and nuns and those kinds of things, you know, we need to actually give away our energy. That is not the case. And so I will say to the masters, because the masters of light, the angels, the masters, they all work on sacrifice of energy, the greater good. Never ask for anything for the greater good for yourself, because that means that you're asking to sacrifice your energy, and there's no need to do it. Always ask that it be, if you're asking for the greater good, always ask that it be for your highest and best, and done in the highest and best way, so that you are not putting yourself out there to lose money or to sacrifice your health or anything like that. Okay. So unlike the energy of the other 6 planes, it simply embraces us in love while changing our human vibration to perfection. When we become aware that we can use the all that is energy, that is the 7th plane, easily and effortlessly, absolutely, Rachel. Do you know the biggest lot of work that I do in my work is, in readings or healings, is getting people to restore their love and acceptance for themselves and not to allow other people to judge them. So it does. We need to, and I would not be able to do this work now without doing a heap of work on my self-confidence, my self-love, and my insecurities around, friendships and things like that. It's taken me, I'm 58 now, it's taken me 51 years to accept my name Victoria. So yeah, absolutely it does. If everybody just worked on loving themselves, oh my goodness, we'd be there already. All we can do is work on ourselves. We can't work on anybody else. We can't make people change. We can only change our perceptions of the world through changing our perceptions of ourselves, if that makes sense. So absolutely right there. I totally agree with you 100%. So I would like to do a quick meditation for you, but I did pull 3 cards this morning, and they are the Healing Energy cards by Leanne Peters, who is a Tasmanian amazing spiritual artist and lives down south, down Hobart Way. The first one was reconnection, so it goes really along the lines of what I've been talking about today. Clear all separation and disconnection issues that are affecting you now. So by disconnecting you to the 7th plane of existence, and so I'm not a theta healing teacher, but I take everybody to the 7th plane. I was taken there way before I learned anything about theta healing. There's no patent on God or unconditional love. So I'm just going to show you my way of connecting. It's very simple, and that way you can sit in the bliss energy and just know that you're completely protected. And before you actually bring in help to clear any spirits or anything from your house, connect to the unconditional love of the Creator and just ask that it be done in the highest and best way. So very, very good thing to do. Crown chakra opening, bridging illusions of fear with love. Look beyond the physical. So I pulled this before this talk today, and that just sums up everything that we've talked about so far. So reconnection, but also I see that as reconnection with yourself, with loving yourself and bringing in the highest feelings of love and appreciation for your body, for the love in your life, for the abundance in your life, and for giving yourself credence for all the things that you've achieved instead of being down on yourself all the time. So that's a really important card. The next one is support. Through support comes great protection, assistance, and a reminder that you are never alone. Call on the wisdom of this card to help you through this time. Love, strength, and stamina. And that's why being connected to the unconditional love of creation or the Creator is so important. It's such a devastating thing. That's where drugs and alcohol and early suicide and all the rest comes, when we become disconnected and feel that we're alone. If we're connected, then we're never alone. And quite a lot, just by the by, even today, I reconnect babies or people when they were babies to the unconditional love of the Creator, because birth is a separation from the mother's womb, and it feels like a separation also from the Creator for some souls. And so actually just reconnecting them to that unconditional love of the Creator, sending that love to them in the womb, and will help them to feel more settled. It's really amazing. And the last one for all of you is abundance. Now, I always look at this card and see an old man with big eyebrows, but if you look really carefully, It's an angel, very small head with big buckets of gold. But you have to kind of like adjust your visual kind of sight with that one, because I always just see big pink baggy eyes. And this is abundance and great things in all forms. So when we give thanks for abundance, it comes back to us. What do you have that you can be thankful for? And even if you feel it's not very much, okay, fantastic. Yeah, it's funny how, but that's awesome. A butterfly, yeah. Anyway, beauty, positive thoughts. An overflow of abundance is coming your way. Receive and give. Yeah, so remember I was talking about the universal law of receiving and giving, equal exchange. And so when you give out that beautiful positive energy, you get that back. Honestly, everything that I'm talking about is not rocket science. I think as humans we make things too difficult for ourselves, and we're incredibly hard on ourselves, and then we get caught up in, you know, the humdrum and heavy energy of everybody else, and we just need to really focus on ourselves and always come back to now, always come back to the present, always sit in our own energy and just really be present and grateful, and because all we have is now. You're welcome, Roxy. Thank you for that lovely feedback. So I'm just going to ask you to make yourselves very comfortable, very, very quick meditation. The way I connect to the Creator, there are different ways. So when you're in the light, the first thing to remember is that our light and Creator's light are one and the same. They're not different, because we're all connected, we're all one. And to actually just center yourself in your heart space, the best way is to just breathe and just expand your energy out until it's all around you, and then you're in the unconditional love of the Creator. The other thing you can do is I always ground first, and then to bring your light up above the top of your head, and then you're connected through your galactic chakras all the way up to Creator's light, and you can actually bring it down around you. Using the breath is really important, because that helps you to focus and not let your mind wander. If you don't see with your third eye, remember with intent it is. So everything is with intention. When you have it intended that it happen, it's there, so it's happened. You can feel an energy change, or you can just fake it till you make it and visual and imagine it. All will be just as effective. All right, so taking a few breaths and relaxing your shoulders and mind. Make sure you're hydrated. And I was always taught just to, as I breathe in and out, to just gather my energy in my heart space and feel it or see it as a beautiful ball of pearlescent white light. And just breathe in and out until you're feeling relaxed and focusing on that ball of energy. And then take an in-breath and breathe the energy as light to connect all of your chakras down through your base chakra, down through your legs, down through your feet, and anchor into Mother Earth. And just feel little light roots go out, and just so when you're meditating and you're in the other realm, you're still connected to your physical body and connected to the ground. Then breathe in and bring the light back up through your legs, up through your body, and all the way up through your chakras until it's through your crown and rotating slowly above your head. And I'll just give you a few seconds to catch up. And then see, feel or imagine the line of light that connects all your chakras up to Creator, and hold the intention that Creator's light comes down to meet your light and then continues down into your heart space. Use your breath and breathe in and breathe out, and the light comes all around you. And we hold the intention that you're in the unconditional love of the Creator, the seventh plane of existence. There are no people, no colours, so if you see those, go higher. Take a breath and be in the seventh plane of existence. Sparkly, pearlescent, white light, unconditional love. This is the plane of instant manifestations of the highest consciousness. And so as you breathe in and out, you can see, feel or imagine your body just dissolving, your light, see yourself as light, dissolving into the light of the Creator and becoming one with all that is. And just be. Focus on the light, focus on the breath. Breathe in and out, focusing on your breath, focusing on the light. Feel peaceful, calm and protected. And then you can imagine breathing in the particles of creation. They're called adamantine particles. And so when you breathe in the adamantine particles and see them as light, and breathe out love. Or you can breathe in love and breathe out light. And you can just get yourself in a flow. Light, love. You can send that to the world, send it to yourself. Breathe the light in, send it to your body for healing. And if you did that every day, you would really find yourself thinking of a higher vibration. Your body might even start to heal a little bit, and you can ask for or hold the intention for unconditional love healing for yourself. Send it to the world. You can ask questions, you'll always get an answer. And then you can work with crystals, you can work with plants, you can work with fairies, you can interact, do healings and not exchange energy or sacrifice your energy. And it's a really beautiful place to be, very hard to come out of. If it's the first time, then don't stay too long, because it's quite a high energy and it can make you feel a bit lightheaded. But absolutely easy thing to do and very beautiful. So with not very long to go, I'm going to use different cards for a collective reading today. These are the Magic of Nature Spirit cards, and I really love these. I hope today's been enjoyable and useful. Thank you for all your interactions. Thank you, Mikkel, for that. I hope that... Hi, Carol. Great to see you. I spoke to Carol last week. Yeah, I'm glad, Bridgie. Just really awesome. It would be great, Bridgie, for you to do that before you bring in your healing energy, or just, it's great for everyone just to connect. It doesn't have to take so long. You can literally breathe your energy down, ground, connect, bring the light in, breathe it out, you're in. Really doesn't take long at all. You're welcome, Angie. You're welcome to Katina. Yeah, just go up, connect, and then, so you can ground yourself and bring yourself back. But you can stay in that energy. We're connected all the time anyway, but perhaps on the first few times, just take yourself down and ground. Make sure you drink lots of water and keep hydrated, very important, and just practice. Vienna's books are all available in bookstores or online. You don't have to do her courses to read them. Fascinating reading and an amazing modality. But even when I attune people to Reiki, I teach them to go to the 7th plane, because Reiki is actually a shaman, a 4th plane or spirit world modality. And some people do find themselves getting drained. Not always, but it is better to be safe than sorry. I would prefer people to be using the highest energy. Okay, here we have independence. So this might resonate with some people. If you've been wondering whether to team up with someone or go it alone, this one says go it alone. You need to act independently on this one without any input from others. This needs the purity of your soul essence. But this also, to me, looking at the imagery, connection to your Christ consciousness and your higher self, then will lead to the Creator, connection to the Creator. So this is about using the highest consciousness and source of energy for anything that you're considering doing at the moment. So if you're not sure, connect to the Creator and just ask to be shown or guided to the right person or a message for you. And it might come in the form of a song or a letter or goodness knows, but you'll always be answered. Don't forget to ask for your highest and best, and that it come in the highest and best way. I'm just going to have another shuffle. Oh, cards have been jumping out on me all week. This one is very soon. Something you have wished for is coming to you now. You have been waiting for ages and your patience is about to pay off. Another spiral. So everything in divine timing. The key to asking for something and waiting for it is to let go of expectation. Creator said to me once, expectation reaps no reward. So it's about letting go and then just trusting that it will come when the time is right. And the last one that jumped out was detox. So something in your life needs cleansing. Most of us have something in our life that needs cleansing. Could be too much alcohol, too many cigarettes, could be bad food, but it also could be toxic people, a work situation that's not for your highest and best, whatever it is, whether it be your mind, body, spirit or living space, clear, cleanse, heal or detox those areas which are in need. Because the clearer we are, then the clearer the message will be. So if you found it difficult to connect to Creator today, doing a bit of a detox, making sure that you perhaps get a chakra clearing or some kind of energy clearing, but also believe that you can do it. Believe in yourself. Start to think positively about yourself rather than negatively. All of those things make a very big difference to our connection and to our spiritual development. My name is Victoria Cochran. I am currently the Tasmanian Psychic Expo's 2019 Psychic of the Year. I have a website, victoriacochran.com. I'm on Facebook as Reaching Out Spiritual News, and I am also really excited to be here on Spiritual Events Directory every Wednesday at 12 noon. Please get in contact with me if you would like a reading or a healing or just a chat, and have a great day everyone. Much love. Bye bye.